Zevi, obviously you spend the first 3 games as a backup. You learn you're starting on Sunday. Take us through your first few weeks of this season. What was going through your head, and how did you approach this opportunity?
Yeah, I think, just like any other quarterback would, I feel like just trying to, do the best you can with your team, inspire them as much as you can with whatever your role is. And obviously just wait, for an opportunity that presents itself. And that's what I tried to do, for the first 3 weeks. Got the opportunity against UNT. We had a nice drive. We got down, scored. Just trying to motivate myself and motivate those with as much as I could.
Coach Rogers says that he's seen your leadership style grow, not just to be the starting quarterback, but to be a true leader, and just with the example of you coming in for film and all those things. What's your approach to leadership, and how do you think you've seen your leadership grow from maybe August 1st to now?
Yeah, I think just trying to find new ways to inspire people. And I think that's the biggest thing with leadership. Every year there's going to be new opportunities to present, leadership. And I think for me, it's just continuing to find ways to grow and becoming a better leader, every day. I don't think you ever stop, growing in that asset. So just trying to find new ways to inspire people and motivate people.
Kind of on the same leadership topic, what have your conversations kind of been like with Jackson? Obviously, I'm sure he's disappointed that he wasn't starting, but he talked a lot about how supportive you were when the reverse was named. What have you guys kind of talked about, or how have you kind of maybe tried to tell him to keep his head up and so on?
Yeah, I don't think anything has changed from our friendship. Jackson's been one of my biggest friends, since I've gotten here. Obviously, we had a quarterback battle, and it gets competitive on the field, but off the field, it's one of my best friends. When he was out there, I was, his biggest fan, supporting him as much as I could. And, the same vice versa. When I was out there, he was, inspiring me and trying to get me to go as much as he could. So, he does a great job with everything that he does, whether it's on the field, off the field. It's the reason why, he's one of my friends. I just love who he is as a person. And yeah, I don't expect that to change from him.
Coach Rogers said a couple times, including just a few minutes ago, that you'd be the first to say that your fall camp performance maybe wasn't what you expected it or wanted it to be, and that kind of went into the original decision. Just kind of when you look back at that fall camp and kind of to where you're at now, how much do you feel like you've been able to grow to where you feel like you're a better player and in a better spot than you were just a few weeks ago?
Yeah, significantly. I think that, whatever it was in fall camp, maybe I was pushing too hard or pressing too hard or just trying to do too much, or maybe I wasn't doing enough. I don't know. It was probably a culmination of things, but I think the biggest thing for me is just trying to find ways to grow within this offense and be the best player that I can be for this offense. I think that obviously I've been able to do that, and that's why Coach Rogers trusted me with going out and starting this week. So I don't think that ends either. I think that we still have to find more ways to score more points, and there are ways that I can contribute to this team more. I mean, 2 interceptions is we're not gonna win games like that, and I got to play better. So. Just finding ways to get better every week.
Coach Rogers told us that he named you the starter on Sunday. How did you find out about that?
Just a one-on-one conversation with him.
Okay. What was kind of your reaction?
Obviously excited for the opportunity. Don't make it more than what it is. Just go out there and have fun.
As this one kind of unfolds and UW is obviously scoring on every drive, what's going through your mind? Do you feel any pressure to kind of produce to kind of keep pace with them?
No, I'm just going out there trying to do my job. You start looking at the scoreboard, you get caught up in the wrong things. So for me, I was just trying to lead my team as much as I could, reminding them that we just got to win every single play. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just do your job.
One, what did it mean to you to now, join the family of starting quarterbacks in the Apple Cup for the Cougs? And 2, what's the emotions of coming up on the short side tonight?
I'm super grateful, to be able to go out there and represent, such a historic and iconic brand. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Every game's important, but this one's important. And I feel like I let the guys down a little bit. I don't think that I played my best ball. And sure, some things could have gone differently, but it hurts. It definitely hurts, and I wish I could have a couple of ways back, but we got to keep moving forward.
What did you think you did well tonight?
I thought I just tried to instill confidence and just be a leader out there. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Just try to be a leader to those guys and motivate them as much as I could, and just keep reminding them that we're in this. Like we can win this game. That was the biggest piece for me. I just wanted to go out there and lead a team. I've never started, you know, a game in Washington State. I've never started a game at Gesa Field. So to be able to do that, I just wanted to, you know, show those guys that, you know, I can run the ship, and as long as they're with me, you know, we can do whatever we want.
So with Devin Ellison making his Cougar debut today, he had 52 yards. What's it kind of mean to you to have that extra weapon on offense?
It was awesome. You know, Devin and I have had a lot of conversations about this season, and you know, to see him go out there and make those plays was awesome. You know, he had that big catch down their sideline. Obviously, he had the dig coming across, and then he had the touchdown. You know, just seeing him get into the end zone was awesome. I feel like, you know, him and I have talked about that a lot. Just to see him go out there and do that was really special, you know, and I hope that he takes that confidence into, you know, the coming weeks.
And then with a loss in this rivalry matchup, how does that maybe motivate you going into next week?
I mean, we just you know, we just got to play better football. We got to play better football. We got to practice better. We got to keep pushing the urgency. The game's over. You know, we got to start moving forward and start looking at what's ahead of us, and just put our attention and focus over there.
When you think about your journey since you got here, transferring in, battling with John, starting the bowl game, battling again, does it feel like a full circle moment, or is it too raw right now, too close to game time?
Yeah, I don't know. I just try to, I just try to live in the moment. I don't try to look back at things that happened in the past. I think that everything that's happened in the past has made me the person I am today, but I try not to connect too much to, you know, this or that. I like I said, I just want to help this team win football games.
You ran the ball 10 times tonight. It was the most on the team. I mean, how do you guys kind of get this running game kick-started, and what did you see out there that maybe hindered you guys running the football a little bit tonight?
I'm not sure. I couldn't answer that right now. I'd have to watch the film. But obviously that's gonna have to continue to be a point of emphasis, because we got to run the football. We have too good of backs. We have too good of an O-line to not, you know, put up more yards rushing. So, you know, I couldn't tell you the answer right now, but I just know we're going to work on it.